What's up, everybody? Good morning. Sorry I'm starting it a little late today. We should have a little bit of an echo. Let me mute this before the echo gets here. All right, how's everybody doing today? Hope everyone's doing good. Sorry for getting started a little bit late. Yesterday was Halloween, and yeah, woke up a little late this morning, but hope everyone's having a good morning. Watching NFX here, you can see NFX. It is gapping up from 2020 all the way to 22.98, just about $23. It went as high as about 24 or about 23.50, maybe up to 24 here. I'm going to be watching this one, see if it can drop some. Also watching Fitbit, FIT. You can see this one's gapping up from 473 to 538, which is actually a pretty big percentage move relative to what it usually does. And so going to watch Fitbit as well. Looking at NIO. Yeah, man. I was just John O. My wife and I were just arguing about. I wake up in the morning and my wife leaves the AC on. It's like 65 degrees in my house right now, and her and I always get into it because I'm like, I like the heater on in the morning and she likes it cold in the morning. I don't understand why. It's like 40 degrees outside, which is cold in Texas. You know, I don't get it, but. Also looking at NIO. You can see NIO still moving some. We'll see where this one heads. Also looking at CGC, CRON. They're moving a little bit here. BT. Gapping up from 15.24 to 17.12. TOPS. Gapping up from 210 to 230. BUD maybe gapping up from 73.98 to 75.93. AMRN moving a little bit here. LCI gapping up some from 366 to 395, and maybe ING. This is just what I have so far. We'll see if I can find anything else here. AIG looks okay as well. Yeah, I was hoping the market would be a little bit more. I was hoping the market would be a little bit more volatile today and a little bit more active, but it still looks a little slow. And so all we could really do is just wait for the volatility to come back in the market, and just try to protect ourselves until then is really what we're looking for here. SPOT. Spotify. CRON. Yeah, CRON doesn't look bad. Had a little fake out yesterday for the VWAP fade. Let's look at the daily chart for CRON. We'll see where it goes today. It's had 2 green days in a row in the last 2 market days. And so we'll see where it goes today. Maybe see if it pulls back some for CRON. What's up, Seven? Good morning, man. Yeah, I'm just waking up drinking my coffee. Yeah, I know CRON has gotten hit the last. It's been in a downward trend for a while, really. That's what I was saying. If you look at from about October 15th, this thing has just been in a pretty big downward trend. And so it may be time for a pullback here. But we'll see. It's had 2 green days in a row. This one, it had 2 green days in a row here, tanked the next day, next few days. And so that's just kind of, I'm torn. I'm just going to watch it and see. Yes, this is Trade Ideas, Keith. MDR popping up on my scanners. MDR really doesn't look that bad. I mean, it had a big drop yesterday. A big drop. And so we'll see if MDR can rebound here. And it is tradable. So yeah, I'll probably watch MDR as well. But we got a few little options here to look at. NFX, CRON, MDR. You can also see, I mean, these don't look bad. DCIX and TOPS. They're not tradable for me, but they don't look bad. You can see DCIX here. And TOPS. They're both gapping up some. Shipping stocks. So they don't really look that bad here. There's also BT. Low volume though on BT solo. The TVIX, what's the SPY doing? SPY dropped, had a pretty big pullback before the close yesterday, but rebounded some in pre-market. Yeah, SPY had some support at 270. You can see it bounced right off of that number. And so we'll see if it holds over this here around 270. I remember NBRV. It's up on my scanners, but it's just not moving much. SSYS as well. Yeah, 522, 523 looks interesting for fit. It's almost to 550 now, so yeah. What's up, Sonny? Yeah, man, I like it when it's cold. I love the cold weather. I was just bummed out. You know, Halloween was yesterday, and you know, last year it rained on Halloween as well, and so my kids haven't been able to go trick or treating in 2 years because it's just been pouring down raining every year on Halloween. And so like we carved pumpkins and like watched movies and you know made cookies here and stuff like that, but they didn't actually get to go trick or treating. Second year in a row, man. My daughter's 9 too. My son's 4, and so he's kind of missing out. Yeah, I'm just looking for some decent volume in the market. There's not that much there. I mean, the cannabis stocks are probably looking pretty good. CRON. So we'll see what happens with them. Maybe NFX if it has earnings. But I still want to see a little bit more volume. CGC, another cannabis play. FCAU gapping up some. Fiat Chrysler. ATTU's moving some. Doesn't look like it's going to be tradable though. Nope. Look at Fit. Fit's still running here. Fit probably looks like one of the best ones. I'm guessing this is earnings, an earnings play. But it doesn't look bad here. Let's see. Repetition, Anik. He says, John, any tips on how to learn to just pull the trigger and not backseat trade? Yeah, man, just repetition, bro. I wouldn't really advise it in this market, though. I think hesitation's okay in this market just because the volume's really dull. At least for me, there hasn't been that many good setups for me with what I like trading, and so I think you still got to be pretty careful in this market, especially not to overtrade. But when the market looks good, and if you're still hesitating when the market looks good, just repetition. If you do something over and over and over again, your brain will kind of be conditioned to just do it again. You know what I mean? And so you won't have any kind of hesitation when you're trying to jump into a good setup. You just want to make sure you don't do that with bad setups. You don't force bad setups. Once you do kind of have that conditioning to just be able to, jump in when you need to, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's all conditioning. It goes back to Pavlov and the dog. Just repeat it over and over again until your brain's comfortable doing it, until you're used to doing it, and then it'll be easy. Same thing with building a plan around your strategies. Build a plan around your strategies and do it over and over and over again until that's kind of what your brain locks onto when you start to trade. It's just building that plan. Of course, you're always going to mess up sometimes, always, but just try to condition yourself to always build a plan around your strategy, analyze the risk and reward in that strategy and plan, and not to hesitate. I don't get that bad at hesitating just because I think because of the stream, I trade every single day almost. I sometimes I'll take, I'll refuse to trade. Like yesterday, I just didn't see anything good, and so I just didn't trade. But for the most part, I'm trading almost every weekday. And so it gets a little bit easier when you do it every weekday. What's up, Abby? Good morning. What's up, Felix? Good morning, man. Yeah, sorry if I'm a little quiet this morning. Like I said, yesterday was Halloween. I'm still drinking my coffee, trying to wake up a little bit, so. And okay. Nokia popping up on my scanners. Higher float stock. You can see how many shares are on the level 2. Just a lot of shares going through there. And so higher float stock. And so because of that, it's going to have a small range. Alibaba breaking the highs of pre-market. AIG gapping up some. Looks interesting. What's up, Connor? Good morning, man. Yeah, SLS looks good. I mean, it's still low volume, though. Relative to some of these other ones, it's still pretty low volume. I think an interesting level with SLS is this $1.50 point right here. See if it breaks that. If it does break, see if it holds that area as support. And then it's got a lot of support here at 140. So if it breaks under that, it may fill the gap down to 120 or so. But I mean, it's obviously just speculation, but doesn't look bad. Gapping up some. We'll just see if it breaks this support at 140 is what I would be looking for. What's up, Cool? Good morning, man. Oh, I thought you were live gains, Connor. What's up, man? I thought you were live gains, and then I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that looks like live gains. And then I was like, live gains hasn't been here, man. I wonder where he went. And then, yeah, okay. That's what I figured, man, but I didn't know 100%. But what's up, man? What's up, Sultan? Yeah, I mean, the SPY's bouncing back some. Like I said, if you look at the SPY here, You could see on the daily chart, this thing's had a lot of support at right around 270. So we'll see if it holds support there. That's kind of what I'm watching. It's had some at 260 as well, but it's had some support at 270 here, here, resistance here. And so I think that's the big level is 270. And even if you go to the intraday charts, you could look right exactly where it bounced off of in pre-market and after hours was 270. Bounced off of it right at that level yesterday as well. So that's kind of the level I'm watching on the overall SPY. But we'll see. Really? I didn't know that, Connor. Appreciate that, man. I'm just going to call you Connor from now on, then I know your real name. It's easier than saying live gains. That's cool, though. I mean, yeah, a lot of people talking about SBBP. I don't think it's tradable for me. I mean, so I can't trade it, but it doesn't look bad. It's moving, which is really what I want to see. It, you know, I obviously I look for more gap ups than gap downs, trying to short the extension, but really, I just want to see movement in markets like this. You know, I just want to see it moving at least one direction with a volume in pre-market and after hours. BBL gapping up some. What, SBBP? Really? Oh, that's great. Nice. Okay, so they do a pretty good job of adding it. This one wasn't available yesterday, I don't think, but that's good to see. You can short it. I mean, even if the short size says 0, you could still short it. The only thing, at least from my experience, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident that's how it is, that even if it says 0 under short size, you could still short it. As long as it says Y under tradable, you could short it, I think. I'm pretty confident that's what it is, because I feel like I've shorted stocks that don't say anything under short size. Yeah, like for instance, CRON. I've definitely shorted CRON before. You can see short size 0. So I think what really matters is the Y under tradable. But hey, appreciate everybody letting me know. But hey, I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. All right, I'm back. But yeah, I mean, we have some options today. So main watches are probably CRON, SBBP, FIT, and NFX. Those four look decent. And so it's not that bad. I mean, we got in some volume. Not, obviously it's not the greatest volume, but it's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, ATTU is running up some. It's not tradable, but it doesn't look bad. It just needs a little bit more volume, but it doesn't look too bad here. Yeah, NFX is on my other monitor. You can see it here. But looking at that one as well. Kind of analyzing the daily chart at this point. It's had a pretty solid string of red days on NFX. You can see this one's been tanking since October 4th. This thing has just been, it's only had 2 green days since October 4th. And so, aside from the last 2 days, I should probably say, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's had 16 red days and 4 green days in a little bit less than a month. So we'll see where NFX goes. I definitely wouldn't say it's extended on the upside. PXS is spiking some. That looks interesting. Up to 265. It's just about break even in pre-market, though. You can look at PXS here. Doesn't look bad either. All right, so let's look up the news. Today's news is brought to you by SnapTrade. That's SNAPTRADE.US. I use SnapTrade to share my watch list with a decent amount of traders each morning. So if you want this watch list shared with you, let me know and I'll add you to this list. But it also has a scanner. You can see lots of different sectors: cannabis sector, crypto, finance, gap ups, high gainer volatile stocks, upcoming earnings, recent earnings. And so regardless of what sector you like trading, it probably has a scan for it. But it also allows you to look up news, and so I can go to today's news only and see the biggest news stories in the market, or I can just click watch list here and it shows me all the different press releases and catalysts for my watch list. And so a really cool tool for traders to take advantage of at SnapTrade. I'll post the link here if anybody wants to check it out. Free scanner for traders to use. What's up, Eric? MFGP, SLV. Gonna watch NIO too. It's been a little tricky, a little choppy lately, but keep an eye on it, see if it gets a decent volume push. VOD maybe. All right, but I'm going to look up Fitbit here. I'm pretty sure Fitbit's just earnings. It looks like it's just earnings. We'll see. Yeah, it's third quarter earnings. They definitely look to be positive. So Fitbit reported third quarter net losses of 2.1 million or 1 cent a share, compared to the losses of 113.4 million or 48 cents a share for a year ago. It's substantially better. Substantially smaller losses for Fitbit, and I guess that's making it jump. And positive earnings as well for Fitbit. And so we'll see where this one goes at the open today. I'm curious to see what happens with it. I mean, it's still a net loss company, but we'll see what happens with it. Also looking at NFX here. Big pullback on NFX. I'm curious if this is just a glitch. It looks like it is. But looks like earnings as well for this one. Let's see. All right, so NFX is being bought out by Encana in a deal worth about 5.5 billion. So Encana is buying Newfield, which is NFX, for 5.5 billion. So interesting. We'll see where this one goes today as well. Also looking at CRON, PXS. We could look at some of these other ones. PXS gapping up. PXS regained compliance with NASDAQ's minimum closing bid price rule. And I guess that's making a gap up here. That's the only thing I really see. Looking at CRON, CGC. All right, so CGC had positive news come out for it. About how they congratulated portfolio company James E. Wagner as it launched its product sales on Spectrum Cannabis platform. Interesting. We'll see where CGC goes. Another one to look at is LCI. Gapping up a little bit here. Not the best volume, but we'll see where it goes. So it entered into a distribution agreement for one of its new bio drugs for LCI. What's the other one? SLS. Gonna look at SLS here. All right, so one of the commission sites is now showing that SLS has been granted a European orphan designation for one of its bio drugs, and so received a designation for one of its bio drugs on SLS. I guess that's making a gap up here. We'll see where it goes as well. And then just the shipping stocks kind of going crazy here. TOPS and DCIX both gapping up. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on with the shipping sector. So TOPS is now showing a 56.3% stake from the Lax Trust, into a large stake in the company. Let's see what DCIX is showing. There's the bell. Sorry, running a little late this morning. All right, big drop for CRON at the open. Big drop here. Fitbit running up some more here. CGC is up. Let me pull the good scanners up here. Look at Fitbit starting to run. All right, so if it pulls back to the VWAP here, risk could be 70 cents, about 5-6 cent risk. Reward could be down that 750 level, so not bad risk to reward on CRON if it pulls back here. Look at Fitbit starting to push up though. PXS spiking some as well. PXS popping up on my scanners. CRON getting a little spready here. Fitbit starting to give some of these gains back here. Look at this big pullback. It's testing the $0.50 now. But PXS is really starting to push. AMN starting to run as well. SBBP starting to test the whole $1.06 as well. Hey, appreciate the sub, Will. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man. All right, so Fit finding some support at 550. It's up to 560. We'll see what happens here. CRON, low volume overall. I like the volume on Fitbit, though. It's really moving some. All right, there's CRON up to around the VWAP. It's not as good risk to reward just because the VWAP dropped already. It dropped down to 62. So it's still not bad risk reward, but I wouldn't say it's great. Hey, appreciate the sub, Chuck. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. especially with CGC starting to run here. I don't know if I trust this fade on CRON. We'll see though. I just see CGC up, breaking the highs. And so it's setting up for the fade. Risk could be at maybe 70, but just don't know if I trust it. Fitbit really starting to run. Appreciate the sub, Yao. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. SBBP found some support at 6. I mean, there's a drop on CRON. Small range, but I like the drop. Really nice little fade there on CRON. But like I said, with CGC running up, you can see how quickly CGC kind of gave it up. CGC looked really bullish here and then just completely tanked. Look at this. It was above the VWAP. Now it's breaking under it. But there goes the fade on CRON. Didn't look bad. We'll see if it cracks this $0.50 now and just starts to break down. See what's going on with the overall market. Yeah, there's the breakdown on CRON. Nice, you get this. Nice work, brother. But yeah, I mean, this is the best move I've seen in the last few days on CRON. But like I said, I just didn't have that much confidence in it with how CGC was. You can see how high CGC was. It looked like it started to run. And these two do follow each other. And so, not really that upset I missed this fade here. But it was a nice fade. But like I said, not really that upset I missed it. SBBP starting to run here. It's up to 620, breaking the high of the day. Fitbit really starting to run here. Nice little bounce off the VWAP for Fitbit. Curious to see what happens with CRON here after it tests the VWAP here at 750. Broke underneath it. Like I said, not a bad fade with an entry of this level here. What's up, Mihail? Good morning, man. What's up, Mitch? Yeah, no stress, crypto. Yeah, look at W. I mean, W, it it faded nicely off the VWAP around the whole dollar of 94. It's just such an expensive stock for me. I just don't know if I like the range, but looked like a nice little fade there. What's up, Matthew? Dab on the haters, huh? Yeah, there goes CGC really tanking here, and there goes CRON. So not a bad VWAP fade setup, actually. CGC, not a bad little VWAP rejection for CGC as well. At this point, I'm just looking to see if it fades back to the VWAP here for CRON. You know, if it gets back up to the 758 level, I can use this prior high at 760s as my risk. So a pretty tight risk in between 58 and 63. So about a 5-cent risk. And a pretty big reward, at least down to, you know, these lows, 745. And if you want to see, a lot of these are dropping because look at the SPY and that big pullback there. What's up, Tiny? Fitbit. Yeah, pulling back to the VWAP here on Fitbit. We'll see what it does here. See if it bounces off of this level. Doesn't look bad. I mean, if you get in around the 60 level, you could set a risk at 50 and then a reward up here at 580. So 2 to 1 if you get in at 560. But that's a big if, you know. Yeah, dries is starting to push up. I'm noticing dries there. NIO has just been pretty choppy. That's the only thing. Low volume too with NIO. I'm looking at shipping stocks on my other monitor. Looking at TOPS tanking here, and DCIX. Both of them pulling back pretty strong here. Yeah, look at that little VWAP bounce for Fitbit. Not bad. Big bearish trend on CRON. Yeah, PXS starting to spike. Still in IGCC. SBBP has a little bit of a, you know, it's finding a lot of support at $6. We'll see what happens with it. SLS popping up on my scanners here. Yeah, look at SLS run. Nice little washout long there for SLS. But man, CRON just took a dive. Yeah, IGC is back with the name IGCC. And it's up. Weirdly enough, it was a nice little VWAP bounce there on IGCC. It's in the OTC market though now. Yeah, I don't think NBEV is tradable for me anymore. It's probably getting hit with the rest of these stocks. Like, yeah, if you look at CRON, CGC, NBEV, they're all getting hit. I'm sure TLRY is probably getting hit too. Yep. I mean, which ones, Eric, which ones do you see that are green? All I'm seeing is red in the cannabis sector. You know, you could look at CRON, CGC, down, TLRY, down, NBEV, down. IGC is the only one, IGCC is the only one that's up, but the rest are down. I just realized your joke, Matthew. It's funny. I read it earlier and I didn't think about it. I mean, I'm just waiting for a pullback here. It might have some support at 711, 710. And so I'm just waiting for a pullback, see what I can get there. Yeah, for sure. Yesterday had a nice red day for most of the cannabis plays. Now it's down some. Like I said, I'm just waiting for a pullback to the VWAP for some of these. SBBP testing the whole $1.06 again. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to be patient with a lot of these, man. The only ones I really missed were these two fades on CGC and CRON. This was more of a rejection, so I don't like it as much, but it had a tight risk reward. The one I'm the most bummed out about missing is CRON. It faded nicely off the VWAP, and I was watching it as it happened, but as it happened, CGC, which is something it usually follows, was pushing up. And so for that reason, you know, yesterday it kind of did the same thing. It looked like a fade. CGC was pushing up, and then CRON eventually reversed and pushed back up. And today it was kind of like the opposite. And so tough to, you know, jump in that when you saw the, you know, when you saw a reversal with the same thing yesterday. But didn't look like a bad fade. Yeah, IGCC battling the $0.50. I don't even know why I'm watching that one though. I mean, after that one got halted and resumed in the OTC market, it's just a little hard to trust. Yeah, fit riding really nicely. I remember this VWAP bounce was there. SLS bouncing off the VWAP some here as well. You know, I don't mind CRON if it gets up to, man, they're doing the weird thing with the level 2 again on Thinkorswim. Just strange. I don't mind CRON if it gets up to 744, 743, setting a risk of 752 maybe. I don't mind that. It's got to get up there though. Another 10 cents or so. Yeah, man, Thinkorswim's been lagging a lot the last I don't know, few weeks really. The bid a lot of times is larger than the ask. It's just tough to follow some of these. And like I said, I'm looking at CRON. If it pulls back to this 743 level, I can set a risk at 52 for about a 9 cent risk. Reward can be at the low of the day at 720. So good risk and reward, but it has to pull back to that level. If it can't, then I'm not going to force it. Yeah, I watch ACB. PBI. Look at this runner today, guys. I missed this one, but look at PBI. Ran really nicely today. Kind of a solid just run up. Appreciate the sub, Dwayne. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I know I haven't traded much in the last 2 days. I just haven't seen that much I really like. It just has to set up, you know, and there hasn't been that many follow-throughs, but today wasn't that bad on CRON. I think, you know, like I said, I was watching CGC, and as it was fading, CGC was pushing up, and so that made me not trust it as much. But we'll see if it gets up to that 43 level. It's up to 38s now. It's got about 5 to 7 cents to get up there before I really start considering it. And it's got to get up there for me to really want to take it. I was also watching MDR. MDR was really bullish today after a big red day yesterday. Nice little VWAP bounce on MDR there. Fitbit still running. SBBP still kind of testing the whole dollar of 6. Yeah, EARS is starting to run. If you like the sub-dollar stocks, it's at 75 cents. Or it's been running, I probably should say. CGC pulling back before it really gets to the VWAP. NIO starting to spike. It's bounced off the VWAP a few times here. It's at 609. AMRN's been kind of bullish this morning too. Yeah, so it's kind of like the opposite of the VWAP fade, Anthony. So instead of, it's almost like you flip the VWAP fade upside down, right? Here's a good example of it on Fitbit, right? So the VWAP fade, you look for a bullish trend. You look for a bullish trend, pull back to the VWAP, and then a fade back down like this, like you see CRON did this morning. That's kind of what you look for with the fade. With the VWAP bounce is bearish trend or bullish trend, pull back to the VWAP, and then run up like that. And so it's like the opposite of it, if you could see by the chart. If you go to our website, I actually recently added a little bit more content to the long strategy section. There's a section now for the VWAP bounce on the website, and I'll post the link in a second. But yeah, I added the VWAP bounce to the website this past weekend. Yeah, a little bit of a VWAP rejection there for GE. But yeah, here's the strategy section. If you go to the strategy section, it has a breakdown of the VWAP bounce there. Fitbit, interesting here. We'll see if it tests this whole $1.06. See what happens here. All right, there's the break on Fitbit, breaking the whole $1.06. Yeah, a little bit too expensive for IT, for me at least. LGCY popping up on the scanner. Look at LGCY. Big percentage move for it, about 25% today. It gapped down. It washed about 20% and then pushed back up about 25%. Yeah, CRON started to fade back down before I really could take advantage of it. I just never got to my entry level, which would have been around the VWAP up here at around 43. And so it just didn't give me that entry. Can't force it. Not going to chase it. CGC kind of the same thing. It's about to test the low of the day here. I appreciate the sub, no bogeys. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. MRNS popping up on my scanner. Yeah, look at MRNS. So Fitbit got rejected at the whole $1.06. But look at MRNS here. Getting some volume coming in. And MRNS is tradable, believe it or not. So MRNS is tradable. AMRN breaking underneath the VWAP. Maybe a VWAP rejection here for AMRN. Tight risk of like 64, but I think the accuracy's not going to be as high. I think it could easily stop people out at 64, maybe 70, just depending on where they want to set their risk for those. Yeah, there it goes. Like I said, maybe 70, but see what MRNS does here. A lot of volume coming in for this stock today. Look at PPC push up today. All right, so for once, CRON is getting right around the VWAP. You know, it has a little bit of a, not a double bottom here, but the only reason I like it is because I could set a tight risk at 44s maybe. I want to see what CGC is doing in relation to that. I could also see CGC pulling up to the whole dollar of 37, so maybe CRON getting up to 750. The bid and the ask are the same on CRON right now on both of mine. You can see. All right, so here's a spike up on CRON. I'm going to go ahead and take 100 shares here if it lets me in. And using that tight risk area of 45, maybe 50. Yeah, just looking for CRON to get rejected at that VWAP level. I'm taking small sizing just because the market's been a little lately. See if we get that pullback and that washout here. Yeah, for sure. I kind of agree with that sentiment, Matthew. It's just a weird day. I'm just taking it slow. Just not, like I said, not much volume in the market. There hasn't been that many good setups with specifically what I look for, and so I just gotta take it slow on weeks like this, which you see is why I'm using tiny sizing here. See if we get a pullback down to the low of the day eventually. I like this drop. We'll see if it holds. Just gonna let this one work. If it breaks 44, I could consider getting out for a tiny loss, which is what I kind of have to do in this market, just protect myself. And we got 34s. TNXP, yeah, it had a big red day yesterday. We'll see how it acts now. Yeah, look at NIO starting to spike up here, breaking out of that sideways trend. Yeah, IHR2Q is just, it's an OTC stock. It's just not really my style of trading. I appreciate the sub, Asher. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Also following CGC along with CRON here to see if it continues to get rejected, starts breaking that low. That's really what I'm looking for. At this point in the trade, all I can really do is let it go to my risk level and my reward levels. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Asher. TNXP starting to break the high of the day here. Somebody mentioned this one. Low volume still, though. Got to be a little careful here just because CRON's putting in higher lows. I like the risk and reward, but it's putting in higher lows, so. Fit. What animal am I in the market? I guess a bear, you know. I want the economy to go up, but I guess I would consider myself a bear in this market, you know. Right, a sloth, maybe. What? Is it really, Tony? That's not good. I mean, it's good for shorts, but it's bad because if it pulls an IGC move, that's no bueno, you know? Alright, it's up to 740. This is where I got to keep my wrist tight here. I don't want to see it start to break this. Like I said, set my risk at 44. If it breaks it, just jump out. Yeah, we'll see if FIT follows that trend line up top. I think my entry was good in CRON. We'll see if it works out. I mean, this is kind of the make or break level here. If it gets rejected here, it's a double top, and it probably will come back down. If it holds and breaks up here, it could continue to flag up. We'll see. But obviously, I want to see it get rejected. And so, just giving it that time here. Hoping it's a double top. I see CGC got rejected a little bit there. But we'll see if it continues. I'm in the fade setup on CRON. I got in on this pullback here to the VWAP. Entry of 71, so a good entry. I'm just looking for it to fade. I like that rejection there. It's kind of a double top, but it has to break under the support level at 732 for me to really be excited about this trade. But all I can really do is just hold it to my levels, form a plan. Maybe a little cup and handle forming here, so I got to be careful. Just want to see it continue to get rejected here. Like I said, though, I'm really not going to be super excited about it until it breaks this 730s level here. You know, the 732 level. If it could break that, I like it a lot more, but could be a couple cup and handle forming here. Like I said, risk is about 74 or 44, maybe 45. And so, tiny risk, but we'll give it that chance. Every time it gets up there, it gets rejected, so I do like seeing that. But this 741 level has been holding. I mean, I appreciate it, Eric. I mean, like I said, all I can do at this point is just hold it to my levels. And just let it tap me out. If it stops me out at 44, it stops me out. It's no stress. It's a tiny loss, you know. There's 43s. Got rejected back down to 40. All right, here's kind of the make or break level for me, at least in this trade. Want to see this 44 level hold. You can see it was support and resistance here. It's at 44 now. And so all I can do is hold it to my risk. All right, we'll see if it gets rejected here. Like I said, all I can really do is hold it to my risk at this point. And I think my risk level is solid at 44. All right, got out for a $6 loss, broke my risk level. And that's all I could really do. Tiny loss on the day. Yeah, I see the ascending triangle too, if you look at it here. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit better. But I'm also looking at Fitbit here. Somebody mentioned this line, but I'm probably done for the day, honestly. Markets like this, I just try to take it slow. There's just not that much that I really am interested in. Like I said, CRON was putting in higher lows. It looked like an okay fade with a tight risk, and so that's why I took it. But no stress, tiny loss. Yeah, no stress, Tiny. Listen, tiny loss, $6 loss. I'm really not upset about it. All I did was, all I can do is hold it to my risk and hold it to my predetermined plan levels, which was, I think in this one, 710 and 744. And that's all I can really do, because if it breaks this $0.50 here, it could really start to reverse. And you can see CGC's doing the same thing. And so, with that said, you know, I really... don't mind the trade. I don't think it was a bad trade idea. I just think it tested my levels too quickly, you know. And so you can see I jumped out right before this squeeze up, and so I'm happy with that exit. And that's all I can really do. I mean, you just got to protect your account in markets like this. And so that's kind of why I took small sizing, just because I didn't feel like taking a bigger loss because, like I said, this market's been just tough. This last week's been tough. And so losing weeks are going to happen, losing days are going to happen. All you can really do in trading is give yourself positive risk and reward. And if it follows those levels, great. If not, that's fine too. You know what I mean? And the long game will even itself out. Excuse me. The long game will even itself out. And so if you give yourself more reward than your risk, and you know, your setup's a viable setup like the VWAP fade, then the long game will even it out. But losing weeks, losing days are going to happen. Slumps are going to happen in trading. Anyone that tries to pretend like they don't happen is either lying or naive, you know. And so, yeah, that's it. I'm looking at MRNS. I'm probably not going to trade it, but my voice is going out a little bit, I think. Excuse me. Okay, so looking at MRNS, maybe for a little VWAP rejection here. Not going to trade it, but just kind of observing it. Also, GLUU. Maybe pulling back to the VWAP here. Doesn't look that bad with a risk of, I don't know, 710. Reward target of 690, 691. So positive risk reward there. Risk of about 6 cents. Reward of about 13 cents. So a little bit better than 2 to 1. Gerardo, so I shorted it because, you know, one of my favorite strategies is the VWAP fade. And so the basic premise of it is you wait for a bearish trend, pull back to the VWAP, and then shorting it on the way down. First profit target's usually at the low of the day. So in this case, it would have been 720s. And, you know, like I said, the best thing you can do is just try to give yourself positive risk reward, which is what I did in this case. You know, risk was from 41 to 44 or 45, so 4 or 5 cent risk. Profit target was at least down to 724. And so it was positive risk reward. I bought it near the resistance. I shorted it near the resistance, which always gives you better risk and reward. And I was just looking for it to come back down here. But it didn't work out. The market's, like I said, the market's hasn't been ideal for shorts, I don't think. That's rough, Jason. You'll bounce back, brother. Yeah, it's been a tough week, man. You know, here's the thing. This is what really hurts traders, and I could even use myself as an example. But what happens a lot of the time in the market, right, is you get markets like the last month, right, where stocks are really heating up. It's a really good market. A lot of stocks are following through really, really well. And so, for instance, like IGC, NBEV, CRON, they had a lot of fade opportunities there. You know, like last week was a green week. I don't know about the week before that, but in the last 3 or 4 months, I've had much more green weeks than red. But then, you know, what really hurts traders is that when the market goes from being that hot and that volatile, you know, we had the cannabis sector starting to get really hot. We had the shipping sector starting to get really hot, and traders make money in those markets when the market's really hot. But then when the volume starts to come down in the market, it's really hard for traders to adjust to that. You know, it's really hard for traders to say, okay, the volume's down in the market. It's not going to be as hot. The setups aren't going to be as viable. I need to just take it slow until the market heats up again. And what happens a lot of the time is, you know, instead of taking it slow, traders, they're so used to trading the hot market that they just kind of continue to trade it, and they continue to you know, have losing trade after losing trade after losing trade. And those are the times that really hurt their account, you know. And I think a better plan with those type of markets is to just take it slow. You know, like I didn't trade yesterday. Today I jumped in with 100 shares, $6 loss, tiny loss. I'm just trying to take it slow now, just because the market's not giving me those setups that I like, you know. And the market will heat back up again eventually. It always does. And so the market will heat back up again, but it's just about, you know, taking it slow and preserving your account during those slow times. You know, that's what it's really about, is taking it slow and preserving your account during those slow markets. You know, at least you can even be strategy specific. Like if I'm a VWAP fade trader that likes to short and there's not that many shorts, I just need to take it slow. And, you know, I think if traders can just have that patience and wait for the market to heat back up again, they'll do a lot better, you know. But if they try to force it during those slow markets, you know, it's going to hurt their account. Matthew. Yeah, man. No, yeah, I said I was going to increase sizing this week, but it's been such a terrible week, man. You know, all I could really do is protect my account. I can't let the YouTube pressure get to me, you know, just because it's been a terrible week. There hasn't been really that many hot setups for shorts. CRON, the first pullback on CRON today looked promising here. But aside from that, I mean, I just haven't seen any of my setups. And so I can't force sizing in a slow market like this for my shorts. I just can't. It's, you know, it's like I said, a lot of times traders, they might do well when the market's hot, but when the market slows down a little bit, they don't know how to take their foot off the gas. And so that's what really, really hurts their account. You know what I mean? I mean, it might be a great week for you shorting, Robin, but what I mean is that I haven't seen many VWAP fades, and I'm more of a VWAP fade trader. That's what I've been trading for months now. And it may, you know, it may be switching, but what I mean is, like, if you look at the cannabis stocks, they ran the last few days, and so they've been up. Not ideal for shorts. I can go over a lot of examples, but at least for me, I haven't liked the shorts in this market, and so because of that, I kind of just got to protect my account. John's a teddy bear. Yeah, man. I'm too nice. you know. But yeah, look at GLUU. It may be, like I said, it may be setting up. I'm not gonna probably trade anymore today though. I'm not sure. These are actually Mitch's trade ideas scans, and so I'm not sure where he got them from. What did Fitbit end up doing? Yeah, I'm not gonna trade anymore today. I usually do. I'm usually pretty selective. Like I have my little rules that I follow, and they've done me right in the past, which is slow market, not gonna force anything. I have a 2 trade rule, so I can't trade over 2 times a day, especially if it's a few losing trades, just to protect my account. And so that's rough, Stevo. Hey, appreciate it, Matthew. Yeah, Steve-O, it happens, brother. It happens, man. Like I said, the market's been, at least for me, it's all subjective. You know, the big thing, like, the market's completely subjective. You know, risk levels are subjective, reward levels are subjective. How the market's doing in general is obviously subjective. And so, you know, when I say the market's not good for shorts, I mean, at least for me, I haven't seen a lot of my setups there. You know, but maybe other people's short setups are there. Who knows? But one thing I've learned in the market is that it's all subjective. And if you try to pretend like your way is the only way, or that, you know, if you think the market is bullish, it has to be bullish, then I think you're a little naive in general. You know what I mean? Just because it's all subjective, you never know. Yeah, Mitch is here. Yeah, that's why I've kind of taken it slow the last few days. Is because it's a bigger account. I mean, in this account, I started with 80K, but the last week I'm down a small amount relative to the account. But I have a $4,000 max loss, and so I have a lot of buying power and a relatively large max loss in this account. But even with that, like I said, I'm not going to use that to force sizing in a market I don't like or I don't agree with, and so I just got to take it slow, and that's what I've been trying to do the last few days until I see something I really, really like. Yeah, I have just about 80K in buying power, Stevo. It's the TradeNet student package. Um, yes, yes, I'm using TradeNet. It's the student package. No, no, it's the student package on TradeNet. Yeah, that's rough. That's what rough, Connor. But hey, man, I know a lot of people are struggling in this market, man. It's been tough, you know. At least for my style of trading, it's been tough. And that's why I said I kind of got to take my foot off the gas a little bit. The last 3 months have been pretty good with my trading, you know. The last 3 months, I've definitely had more green weeks than red weeks. But when the market slows down like this, like I said, I just got to kind of take my foot off and just wait for something to heat back up with my style of trading, you know. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think traders have to do that sometimes. If you try to force it in the wrong market with your setups and strategies, then you're just going to be destroying your account. Yeah, if y'all are interested, I'll post the link for TradeNet. So yeah, if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, I have a link that gets you 10% off any package. There's the link there. I make a small commission from it, but it's one of the ways I keep the stream free. You know, we put a lot of work into the channel, so it's just one of the ways we keep it free. So if you're interested in signing up, you can go through that link I just posted. It gets you 10% off. Exactly, Connor, man. Failure to ease up on the gas, man, and you're going to lose your account. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, certain people, of course, this market may be beneficial for some traders, and it kind of shows you the different niches in the market, you know, the different styles of trading. Some people like these markets. I'm not one of them, you know. I like the market 2 weeks ago, you know, when the shipping sector was hot, when the cannabis sector was downtrending, and I could short it and short it. And so I like that market, but when everything's slow, when really the big key here is that when I trade, I look for overextended gap ups, and like my basic strategy with the VWAP fade is to like look for overextended gap ups, preferably over 10% that are extended on the upside on the daily chart, and then riding them down with that downward momentum, shorting them when they pull back to the VWAP and riding them down. And you can see when I look at the gap scanners every morning, there's not that many ridiculous gap ups. You know, like in the hot market, that's super good for my type of strategy. There's lots of gap ups that are just gapping up 100-200%, and I can short them on the way down. And I love doing that. That's my favorite kind of niche in trading. And like I said, with this market being slow, there's just not that many of those opportunities there. And so I just have to wait for the market to heat back up a little bit with my style of trading. And that's all I could really do. Like Connor said, you know, and like I said earlier, if you fail to take your foot off the gas when the market's not beneficial for your strategy, you'll lose your account. And so that's what you got to do. You just got to take it slow. I wanted to use bigger sizing this week. Last week was a green week, you know, not a bad week. Last few months haven't been bad. Had more green weeks than red weeks in the last few months, but the market's just not giving it to me. And so with that said, you know, got to just take it slow. Yeah, I definitely understand that, Connor. Yeah, for sure. The VWAP fade 100% works. You know, it 100% works in the right market. You know, I actually back tested the VWAP fade over a year sample size, and I know I've said it before, but it gave me a 73% accuracy rate in a year sample size. So definitely high accuracy rate, and it generally presents you with positive risk and reward, but there just haven't been that many setups in the last week or two with the VWAP fade, and it's been tougher. And so, yeah, you know, you got to kind of transition. Currently still in the process of back testing the VWAP bounce, but I've done a decent amount so far, and it looks promising to a certain extent. And so looking at the VWAP bounce, maybe, I've seen a lot of those in the last few days. Yeah, I 100% agree, Matthew. I'm mostly short, Steve. I'll very rarely take longs, but I'll take them sometimes, not much. But mostly shorts. I'm just more of a short bias trader in general. Yeah, for sure. I actually agree with that. I mean, the big thing with ETFs, though, Connor, is that uh, one thing you'll notice is that when the SPY is really volatile, the penny stocks or the cheaper stocks under $10 are usually pretty slow, and vice versa. When the SPY is really hot, the ETFs are really hot to trade. And like I said, the penny stocks are a little slow. And when the penny stocks are pretty hot, a lot of times the SPY is a little slow. And so, you know, I think ETFs can slow down as well. Yeah, I don't blame you, Matthew. It depends on what you define as a penny stock, Steve. If you mean stocks under $10, I can short some of them. If you mean OTC stocks or like specifically stocks under $1, no, I can't short them. And I don't like to short them. It's just not really my style. Like penny stocks, you know, I'm more long biased with most like real penny stocks, like stocks under $1, just because I think they have more room. You know, a penny stock under $1 can go up 2, 3, 4, 500%, and it can only go down 100%. And so because of that, you know, as a short trader, I'm more long biased with penny stocks, I think, in general. And so, you know, yeah, looking at Fit, little flag here on Fit. Let me see if I can draw it out. Yeah, look at GLBS run. Got a nice little volume spike there as well. Paul, I mean, it's not really me doing the deals. TradeNet just gives me certain links. And so if you want, I have a link for 10% off the intro or any account, I think. There's the link right there, Paul, if you're interested in signing up. But like I said, I make a small commission from it. One of the ways we keep the stream free. Yeah, later live gains. Later, Connor. Yeah, no stress, Paul. But yeah, probably going to go ahead and close it down. Not seeing anything I really like. Tiny loss on the day. Not really upset about it. Stuck to my levels. That's all I can do. Hopefully the market heats back up. I'm ready to see some big gappers, like I said before. My basic style revolves around big gapping stocks and looking to short them on the way down. So hopefully we get some big parabolic gapping stocks in the market. But until then, I'm just going to take it slow. All right, Matthew. Have a good day, brother. Of course, man. Hey, Matthew, we also have classes each weekday night. I mean, we don't try to pretend like we're experts or anything like that, but I think it's $30 a month right now for our packages, for our classes. So it equals out to about $1.50 a class. And so we just try to keep it cheap. We don't try to pretend to be experts. Mitch has been doing a lot better in this market. Mitch has been definitely killing it lately in this market. And so if you want to check those out, I'll post that link here as well, Matt. What's up, Steve? I just posted the link, man. But yeah, you're always welcome here, brother. It all depends, Steve-O. So, like, for instance, if you want to look at some examples, that's a very... I love buying put options on those big parabolic moves, right? But, for instance, a lot of times, like, if you look at PTI, like, the shipping sector just calmed down some. All right, John, we'll see you in class tonight, man. Have a good day, brother. But yeah, so if you look at some of these parabolic moves, kind of like showing you exactly what happens. Like PTI went from $1.94 up to $10.38 and then pulled back down. They did add this one. So it is tradable now on TEFs and TradeNet. Same thing with YECO. Very similar move. Went from 114 to 1787 and then back down to 5. This one's tradable as well. And so some of them are tradable. A lot of times they won't be tradable that very first day that they spike. But generally, TradeNet and TEFs do a good job of adding it to their platform. You know, like if a stock goes crazy with crazy volume, usually they have, they do a pretty good job of adding it to their platform, you know. Classes every night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 6 p.m. Central. But, I mean, we record all the classes, and so, like, you know, the $30 a month is for 20 live classes, but when you sign up, you'll still get access to the backlog of all the classes we have. I think we've had, maybe 20 classes so far, maybe a little bit under 20, maybe 15 or 20 backlogs of classes, and then you get the 20 live classes as well. I mean, like I said, Jason, we have a backlog of classes and we record each class. And so even if you can't make it, a lot of our members, they don't actually watch the live classes. They watch the classes after we upload them later. Mitch is at work right now. He'll be back tomorrow, but he's here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. But yeah, Mitch just finished a 13-day win streak. He ended 13 days in a row green. And I think he's had 2 green days this week as well. So Mitch has been doing much better than I have lately. But like I said, we're not experts here. Mitch is doing much better than I am, though. But he teaches the class with me. And so, you know, he's my partner in this to a certain extent. And so, yeah, he'll be here tomorrow. Right. I mean, we're not trying to be gurus is the biggest thing. Like, we're really not trying to be gurus. Like, we have a profitable trading system, and so we just teach people our trading system, which revolves around, like, a lot of the gurus will teach people strategies, and that's fine, you know, teaching somebody a strategy. And we have strategy classes as well. But what we really try to teach is using a reasonable plan, using positive risk reward in each trade to attack the market. Like, that's what we do, is teach building a reasonable plan around your strategy. You know, setting yourself up with positive risk and reward, how to analyze those levels and give yourself more reward than your risk in your trades, and then trying to implement that with each trade you take is what we really try to do. Yeah, only one day in October red for Mitch, you know. And so he's definitely been killing it lately. And it's all been documented live on stream, so you know we're not faking that. You know, it's all been traded live on stream for the most part. But yeah, also shout out to Trade Ideas for letting me use their scans each morning. I'll go ahead and post that link. If anybody's interested in checking out Trade Ideas, you can go through my link and check out Trade Ideas. But Trade Ideas is awesome, really customizable scanner. Really appreciate the fact that they let me stream their scans each morning. So shout out to Trade Ideas. Go check out that link if you have time. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the day, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow, same time as always at 8:40 market time. And yeah, good luck. Have a good day. Be careful in this market. And yeah, have a good one, guys. I'll see you all later.